Hey, it's Alex. I'm in my third favorite city in the whole world, London, and I'm at Tower Bridge. I'm sure you can see it behind me. And today we're going to talk about going from freelancer to entrepreneur and some of the fears that people may experience when they're going from freelancer to entrepreneur and how to solve it, how to overcome it, and build a real business instead of being a freelancer in perpetuity forever. So what are some things that you can do better as a freelancer? What are some things that you can improve to move to being an entrepreneur faster? I was a freelancer for many years. From when I started business up until 2014, I was actually doing some freelance work. And I just talked to my friend who's still a freelancer to this day. He's basically a very well-paid videographer, very happy with his work, really likes doing videography. And here's some lessons that I've learned. Here's some lessons that you can learn for yourself to shorten the amount of time that you're a freelancer and move to being an entrepreneur faster. So one of the things that my friend actually told me is that he doesn't want to build a business yet because he will do a lot of administrative work. So he wants to focus on actually video work, actually doing the actual art. And that is something that I hear from a lot of people in the art industry or videography industry or just anything with pictures, videos and so on, is they say, I want to be the artist. I want to be the creative brain behind what's happening. I want to do the actual work because that's what really interests me. That's what I'm really passionate about. And you know from my other videos that I believe in creating your own passion. But what are some things that you can do if you think that this is my passion and I don't want to be doing the administrative work? So in my opinion, any of the administrative work when you go from freelancer to a business is very small anyway. So when I did that, I noticed that, yeah, I had to hire an accountant that's a little bit better than when I was a freelancer. It has to be a better accountant because you're employing people. Your business is more complicated. There's like much more expenses and so on. And it's a different structure for your company. So yeah, there is more paperwork, but here's something very, very important to realize. There's people out there who like doing paperwork. There's people out there who like administration. There's people out there who like accounting and so on, and they can do the work for you. So right now in my business, for example, I have a bunch of people that I employ, you could say, or I hire them as freelancers via platforms like Upwork, and the tool that I use, which is Upwork's tool, it tracks their hours, it shows me their screen, it shows everything, and they just charge me automatically. All the invoices and everything is done automatically via Upwork and they get paid. So is there paperwork for me? Only when it's tax season and I need to report the taxes. Then I just send it all to an accountant, who I pay about $100 per month, and he handles it for me. So is there really so much more administrative work? Maybe, but it's relatively easy to outsource. It's relatively easy to create a system where you're not sitting there and doing any of the actual administrative work. So what I've noticed is when I went from freelance to a fully fledged business owner is I did less administrative work because other people in my business were doing it for me. And why? Because finally I could afford to do it. My business was generating more revenue because I could scale what I was doing better. So instead of being like one consultant and doing some freelance consulting, I can do something like I am a consultant and I have 3 other consultants working with me and they do a lot of the work and I still get a very large cut of the profit from that work. So in fact, what I've discovered is, which is for most business owners quite obvious, but for freelancers it's not, is you can achieve much more as a business owner. You have much more creative freedom because you don't have to worry about little details and instead you can worry about growing the company and where will it go, determining direction, being like very, very creative, very open-minded, absorbing a lot of information and really making a change in the world. So one freelancer, he can make a certain amount of change, which is not that much. But if you have a company and for example, you employ 50 people, that is a huge, huge influence. That's a huge change, huge amount of change that you can create in the world and a large amount of people that you can help. A lot more people, in fact, than if you go at it alone. What business owners have realized a long time ago is, as the business owner, like imagine Elon Musk. So Elon Musk obviously runs a multi-billion-dollar company, in fact, multiple companies, and he chooses to do some of the engineering work himself. In fact, he publicly says that he spends a lot of time being an engineer, even though he's the CEO, even though he's running this huge company, he still decides that he wants to do some of the technical work or be involved in a big way in the technical work. So as the business owner, you have to understand that you're going to have all the control to do what you want. You're not going to be forced to do administrative work, but if you really want to, you can. One of my friends, he is a YouTuber, and to this day, he still does a lot of the editing himself, even though his company is very, very successful. Now, does he have to do the editing himself? Not really, but he likes the creative work. He likes doing it, so he just does it. And this applies to almost any process, any system in your company. You could choose to drop in and just do it, but really successful business owners, people who are making 7 figures or more, they have decided a long time ago to not focus on the small details, but instead to focus on the big vision. Instead, focus on getting the right people, surrounding themselves with the right people, and really building a large company. So I guess the big vision here, when you're going from freelancer to full-time entrepreneur, is you get more freedom, not less freedom. Now, there is a catch to this, okay? It's not all sunshine and rainbows. In fact, when you build a large business, you start making more money. And with more money comes a lot more responsibility. So in fact, the funny thing is, only when you start making a lot more money, that's when there is, more stuff to look at that is administrative. But again, you, of course, can invest some of that money into professionals. And the really big picture is eventually start working with the really top professionals who just handle all this type of stuff for you. So eventually you may even get a chief financial officer in your company and that kind of stuff when you reach really high level of business. And they are in charge of this. They're in charge of this financial stuff that most entrepreneurs don't really understand on a deep level. So this frees up a lot of time and allows a business owner, a CEO, a founder of a company to be as free as they want to be. In fact, I've noticed that when setting up appointments with really successful entrepreneurs, they have complete control of their time. I've noticed that when talking to one of my mentors, he could just, instead of showing up 1 p.m., he could just say, oh, I'll just do noon. Oh, you want to do it at noon? No problem. Last minute change. These types of people, they have so much control, they have so many barriers between them and people who interrupt them that they can change their schedule on command. And that is very, very powerful. So if you want more control of your time, if you want more influence, if you want to work with the best people in the world, in my opinion, the only choice is to become a fully fledged entrepreneur. And if you want to do that, then that's fantastic. The world needs more leaders, more entrepreneurs, more business owners who want to do the right thing. And hopefully you're one of them because you're watching my YouTube channel and hopefully one day I can help you with that. So that's it. If you'd like more free videos about marketing, entrepreneurship, and sales, please subscribe here on YouTube. And if you'd like to ask me a question, I'd love to hear your questions in the comments on Facebook or on YouTube. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.